Couple of things about the Osmo Pocket to kind of help you out. Some of the basic things you already know, like this is the power button and this is the record or take a picture button, but a couple of other important things you might need to think about. The power button actually does a few different things. If you press it and hold it, it turns on the Osmo, and you can tell it's on because the screen opens up and gives you a picture. Now, the other thing it will do, for example, if you just touch it one time, it switches between doing videos and doing still pictures. And it may be hard to see, but up there in the upper left-hand corner, right now there's a picture of a camera, which means it's a still picture. I press once again, and there's a picture of the video camera, which shows how it's going to be doing videos. Okay, another thing you can do with it is if you double click it, it will recenter the picture. In other words, if you've moved the gimbal quite a ways away, up or down, it will put it right in the center. The next thing it will do is if you click it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, it flips the image around. Now you can see me in the camera taking this video. We'll flip it around again, 1, 2, 3. There we are, we're back in the normal mode. I'm going to flick it 1 time, put it back into video mode. So that all happens with the power button. Just to review, hold it for a long time and it will go on or off. There, we've just turned it off. We'll hold it for a long time and turn it on. 1 click goes between photo and video. A double click centers. And a triple click flips it around. And we're now in selfie mode. The record button, pretty self-explanatory. Right now I'm in photo mode, so if I press it, it just takes the picture. I'm going to put it into video mode. And if you press it, it starts taking the video, and in the lower left of its little screen, you can see the video timer starting. So I'm going to press that again. That will stop the video from being taken. Now there's some other things you can do on this main screen that aren't immediately obvious. If I swipe to the right, it shows me the previous picture I took. And in fact, all of the previous pictures if I swipe up once I'm in that mode. Now I'm going to go back to the main screen by swiping the opposite direction. If I swipe to the left, it's going to give me some choices for the mode that the camera is in. Right now, you might be able to see it's in video mode. I can use the touch screen to put it into photo mode. There's video, there's slow-mo mode, there's time-lapse mode, there's panorama mode. Now for any of those, you'll notice that 3 dots will appear to the right because, for example, we're in pano mode right now. Panorama has a number of choices you can choose among. You can do 180 degrees or 3 by 3, which gives you a huge panorama left and right. I'm going to go back to the 180 degrees. We're going to go back to this, and I'm going to put it into video mode again. We're going to swipe the opposite direction, and we're back on the main screen again. Now, if we swipe down while on the main screen, it gets us into some settings. And again, you can use the touch screen to swipe and figure out what you want to get into. We'll swipe the opposite direction to get back to the main screen. If you swipe up, it allows you to have some control over the gimbal. In the upper left, the little arrow is pointing towards the center. That's another way to recenter the image. the picture of the little camera with the circular arrows, that flips so that it's in selfie or facing forward mode. And then the other two are a speed of the gimbal item. That's the thing that looks like a little walking person. And a choice as to how the gimbal operates. The gimbal can lock various directions. There's more about this in the manual. Back on the main screen again. Now in the middle of the Osmo, you may notice this funny little guy, which right now has on an old Apple Lightning connector. That is an accessory spot. And there are some various accessories that you can attach to it. The most useful one, probably, is an accessory that allows you to move the gimbal. I'm going to hook that up here. So here is the accessory that allows you to operate the gimbal manually. I'm going to slide it on. With this accessory mounted, we've got two additional buttons. We've got a roller and we've got a little switch. The roller will actually move the gimbal. Right now it's set to move the gimbal up and down. And that's what the switch is for. You can choose between having the gimbal move up and down, and if we switch it over there, now the gimbal moves right and left. The buttons, the right one allows you to do the flip. Go to selfie mode or go back looking forward. The left one allows you to choose from different gimbal modes. There's what's called tilt locked. There's first person view where everything moves around. And here's follow, which is one you'll probably use most of the time. And those are added when you add this accessory mount. One other accessory, which I actually have on right now, is this device. It's actually in two pieces. I'm going to set my gimbal down over here for a moment. This part here, which can plug into the bottom of the Osmo, and this part here, which is designed to mount on a tripod. Normally they slide in together. When you put them together, you want to make sure that this USB-C slot right there goes into the little hole that's on the tripod mount. Now the nice thing is you can use this when you're charging, which we'll talk about it in just a little bit. We're going to mount this back on, making sure we're connected to the USB. The cool thing about this little accessory is it allows you to connect your Osmo to your iPad or an iPhone, and you can actually control the entire thing from the iPad remotely, which is a really cool thing you'll want to experiment with. We talked earlier about charging. When you're in this accessory base, you can charge by plugging in your charger right here. Normally, you can charge from the little charging space right on the bottom of the Osmo. And that, by the way, is accessible even when it's plugged into its case, which is an important thing to talk about too. When you're done with the Osmo, you want to put it away in its protective case. The protective case will keep the lens, which is up here, and the gimbal from being damaged. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the Osmo. Notice when I do that, it flips things around so that it looks like this. And if I put it into the case, the gimbal and the lens are protected up here. Another thing we can see now is where the memory card is kept. This is called a micro SD card, and the micro SD card you remove by pressing it like with your thumbnail and pulling it out. When it comes time to put it back, you put it in, and I'm going to press with my thumbnail again, and hopefully it'll click in. You can take this out with the proper adapter, connect it to your computer. You can also get all the files off by doing that. However, another way to do that is by plugging into your computer using the USB that's on the bottom of the case. In that case, when you plug it in and turn it on, it will ask you if you want to use this as a way to transmit the pictures to your computer. You will also find that there is a manual for the Osmo in the case, and I would encourage you to look at it when you run into problems. Hope this helps in getting you started.